Right, great. We're live for another episode of Keeping It Real. For those of you that don't know who I am and you're just first turning in to Keeping It Real, I'm a Hawaii real estate broker and also founder of Real Geeks, Jeff Manson, and my co-host is Frank Klesitz. He's the CEO of Viral Marketing, and his team helped put these on, and we're having a great time helping agents and bringing on great guests like our guest today. Our guest today is Erin Alls, and she's from the Silicon Beach area in Southern California. And we're going to go over how she was making 20 grand, and in 1 year, about a year and a half, she turned it around and is now making 320 grand. Or she made 320 grand last year. The previous year, she was making $20,000 a year, and I think working like 50, 60, 70 hours, just crazy amounts of time and not getting a lot of results. So we're going to jump into that. But before we get going live, I'd like Frank to let people know how to tune in and get notifications of these Hangouts. Can you do that, Frank?
Yep. So first and foremost, I would definitely like us on Facebook, where we post them up on the Real Geeks Facebook page. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, so the replay of this will go straight to the Real Geeks YouTube channel. On top of that, if you go to keepingitreal.com, we set up a page where you can watch all the different replays listed there, and you can put your email address in there to get notifications of just the events. Also, Google+, you get notified on that, obviously, since it's a Hangout. And then we're also on iTunes. So you can go search iTunes for Real Geeks, and we're on there.
And also Stitcher for the Android guys.
And Stitcher, too.
Yeah, so I think it's Stitcher. And then also on the Real Geeks Facebook page, we always post the replays or a link to the replay once we get going. So we're really excited to have Erin on here and share how she was open and willing to actually be open to new ideas and take massive action to make a turnaround. Hi, Erin. How you doing?
Hi, Jeff. Hi, great. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Hey, I'd like to first jump in, and I think you were maybe in a different market as well. Can you let us know how you got into real estate and when you got into it, and then any transitions that led you to the 20 grand a year?
Sure.
How you got there and what you were doing, kind of just lay it out, as detailed as possible so we can paint a nice picture and know the history.
Sure. So I've been doing real estate for roughly 15 years. I was working in New York City as a real associate broker for Maison International, and about 5 years ago I was moving out to the LA area with my husband, and I asked the Maison International company if they would be interested in opening an LA office. Which we decided to do, and so I came out here using the same business model that I used in New York, opening the LA office for Maison International. So while out here, we quickly determined that the business model that we used in New York City was not faring very well in LA. And what I mean on business model is that in New York City, a lot of the deals that transpire, that happen there, are the large rentals. Agents make a lot of money off of rentals because the rentals are what drive the market. A lot of people can't afford the real estate as a purchase in New York. Sure. So we would use the rentals as a bridge with the client to focus on them and see if they'd like to eventually purchase a property. And then while being out here in LA trying to do something with rentals, we quickly realized that the rental market is not like it is in LA as it is in New York, because New York, it's everything, the rental market. But in LA, out here, people want to buy. and so that's when we realized we had to quickly change the business plan that we were working.
Sure. So you moved out here, and how well was it working in New York? I mean, what kind of income and production were you guys doing in New York before you came out here?
Yeah, it was working great in New York. That's what everybody does in New York, is rentals, because that's what they have. I mean, people do buy condos and co-ops and all that, but the majority of the business in New York is rentals.
Sure. Okay. And then you moved into the Southern California area, and you tried that, and it was failing. And then so you were working how many hours a day?
Oh my God, I would be working from 7 to 7, easy. A day.
12 hours a day, grinding, and trying to make this work, and it wasn't working.
It just was not working. No.
All right. And then what helped you make a transition, or what happened in your life to make a different change? And then can you take us down that journey?
Sure, because in New York, when I was doing the rental market, I was making close to about $100,000 a year doing rentals, and then when I came out here, I wasn't making any money at all. It's just not the same. You don't get the same commission split in the rentals out here. So the first couple of years, I made like 10,000. I think the most that I made out here was 20K. So it was really hard to go from making, a good income to making nothing and trying, living off my husband's income, which is very, very difficult to do. I don't want to live off anybody's income but my own. So it was a big factor. And I think what really propelled me to do sales and to focus solely on sales was after we hired a real estate coach, and that's what took me down the path I am now.
All right. So you hired a real estate coach. And what did you do, or what did the coach first have you start doing?
So the real estate coach, Coach Carol, really started implementing with me about systems, putting systems in place, automated systems. A lot of times when you get a buyer or a client, people email them or call them one time and they forget about that person. Well, with the systems that I was able to implement with Top Producer, it's a set it, forget it plan with different email drips that kept the buyer or seller engaged with me, and it just made it look like I was constantly following up with them, but in fact it was an automated drip campaign, kind of set it, forget it, and that's where it all started. That's where it all started, was the Top Producer is really what propelled me. Then after Top Producer.
Okay, so Top Producer helped propel you, that's automation, but you had to find these people to put them in Top Producer. So what were you doing to get these people? Were you prospecting? Were you making phone calls?
I was doing door knocking. I was making phone calls. I was prospecting. I was buying phone numbers and addresses of people locally and calling them, and then inputting them into Top Producer, and then based on their responses, putting on an automated drip campaign. And I'll be honest, at first when I was doing Top Producer, I really didn't have the money to do anything. I even built a little website, WordPress website. And then slowly after I started doing some deals, I was able to invest more in myself and in my business, and that's when the Real Geeks came in.
Sure. All right. Well, let's take it one step at a time. So the coach got you to start knocking on doors, making telephone calls, buying phone number lists, and doing all that. Were you doing any of that to do the rental business? Were you doing any of that to find the rental business? Or was this a total shift in your mind and a new way of doing business?
It was a total shift in my mind in doing business, because in New York, I never went door knocking. I never did cold calls. My company in New York has been in business for 30 plus years, so we already had a client base and constant stream of contacts coming through, so I did not have to do any of these cold calls or door knocking or any of these things that I was unaccustomed to. I never had to do that stuff.
Right. And then, was there any kind of fear when you started doing that, when the coach started doing that, or how did you get through that? Because you probably did have a little bit, I would imagine.
It was scary. It was very scary. I was really not confident on calling people. It scared the crap out of me talking to somebody that I did not know. But I realized that it was a do or die situation. Like, if I didn't do this, then I might end up at a Coldwell Banker or some big company that I felt like I would get lost in the shuffle. So my motivation was to succeed. I just plugged through it, even though it was incredibly scary.
All right. So, and then your coach, Coach Carol, what was she having you do when you first started to get through and break through that? Was she working with you on scripts? What kind of training were you going through to help you, break through and get through that and make that mind shift?
Well, the one thing breakthrough is when she had me do a vision board of where I wanted to be and where I wanted to see myself. And then she explained to me, look, if you want to be at this point and if you want to make X amount of dollars, then you're going to have to bite the bullet, go through the procedures, go in cold call, go in door knock, and overcome your fear to be a success. And it was really scary, but eventually that's what I had to do. After beating my head against the wall for a couple of years and not making any money, it was a do or die kind of thing for me.
Sure. And were you were you just going out and winging it, or did you have a plan and a purpose with scripts and kind of dialogues and ready for objections? I mean, when you first started doing this, did you have a plan?
Yes, we had a plan. So the one thing about Coach Carol is that she was able to take scripts that were working specifically for me based on my personality, and then we would refine those scripts even further to how I am. So we were able to kind of edit scripts that were specifically based on my personality and talk about the objections and how I would respond to those. And I would just continue. She would drill me on the phone, and then after I got comfortable, I started moving forward with those.
So you did a lot of practice, reading, internalizing them, and all that stuff. So basically the scripts just became Erin, and it wasn't really a script anymore?
Right, exactly.
All right. And you were able to then focus on actually what the prospects were saying and see if there's an opportunity to help them, correct?
Exactly, exactly.
All right. And were you doing any kind of expireds or FSBOs or anything like that?
Yes, I was working the expireds. That's where we started, was the expireds. Good place to start. Yeah, that's where, and I know that's how you did your business as well. So yes, we were working expireds. I set 2 times up a week, certain hours during the week where I made my calls, and I had to make my calls. There's no if, and, or buts. And that's what we did. That's what I did every week. Yeah.
Okay. And then how did that? And then you would import them. Probably yourself, because you probably didn't have an assistant or anything, into Top Producer, and then were you sending? I want to break down the expires, because expires are going to come around. They may not be hot right now, but the market will make a shift.
Right.
And it's good to know how to work these and start working them now and get prepared. Were you mailing stuff from Top Producer, or were you doing emails, or both? I mean, did you have kind of like a snail mail drip campaign?
Right. So the campaign that we worked was the calls in combination with postcards. So Coach Carol helped me formulate doing 12 different postcards, which I would mail the postcards out to the area, and then I would follow up with the phone calls, and then eventually, after them receiving several postcards, it would be named to face recognition, and of course it made me feel a lot more comfortable because they were getting my cards, they saw my face, and then they were getting my calls. So all of that, I believe, really helped.
And how frequently would you call them? And how frequently would you send out these postcards?
I would do a postcard every 2 weeks. We would do a postcard, and then I would call every week. And that's the system. And then in addition, once I got their email, I would set them up on an expired drip campaign that was edited specifically for me and in my area. So it wasn't just a standard drip campaign. It was actually edited based on if the person was located in Venice. Like, I know you were trying to sell your property in Venice Beach, so all the drip campaigns were edited accordingly, so it seemed a little more customizable.
So you made it really like based on Venice or Marina Del Rey. I think that's in that area, right?
Yes, that's true.
Silicon Beach or what have you. So you actually were you merging using like a merge field based on their location from their address, or did you have a different email drip campaign for each one of those locations?
No, it was just one drip campaign, but in the emails it would have links, for example, like what's going on in Marina Del Rey, what's going on in Venice, what's going on in Santa Monica, because Silicon Beach are those 3 areas. So we implemented basically the Silicon Beach within the campaign. So Silicon Beach is Venice, Marina Del Rey, Santa Monica, and those are the people that we were contacting, and it was a little more specific for those specific areas and those people.
Awesome, awesome. And what kind of results did you start getting over time?
Good results, very good results. My first sale was off of, it was 1.8 in Marina Del Rey, and that was just the trickle effect to where I am now. That was the first, and then the business built from there.
Right. And then so you were starting to book a lot of appointments, and you said you were working FSBOs, and how were you working those, or were you inconsistent on that, or?
It really was the expired campaign. I did try the FSBOs here, but it seems like the FSBO people here were a bit more aggressive than expireds, because I feel like the expireds were the ones that actually raised their hand to sell, where the FSBOs think they're doing it on their own. So once I realized the script for the expireds were working for me, that's kind of what I stuck with.
All right, yeah. What you might want to do, are you still working expireds?
Oh, yes.
Okay. What you might want to do is start working the FSBOs and we went over a whole plan when it was me and Greg Harrelson at the beginning of the year, a whole FSBO domination plan. And if you go to the Real Geeks blog and like 3 posts down or 4 posts down, I actually have a downloadable document on there how you can use that and your Real Geeks website to actually dominate for sell by owners. Because if you follow that plan, you will be the one person in the market that they will remember and they will go to if you follow the plan. So there's just a little tip from me. If you want to get into FSBOs, it's he or she who keeps following up and is most persistent.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why the Real Geeks website has been the next thing that really propelled my business too, because of the follow-up with the listings based on what people are searching for. That's just, I've had people tell me that they love that. They get the email every morning, and it is the follow-up. It's all about the follow-up.
Yeah, so what you could do with the FSBOs, though, is that you could basically say, hey, Mr. FSBO, I've got a lot of people just like you that are trying to sell their homes, and they've asked me to keep them updated on the real estate market in their neighborhood of what's going on. You know, what's, you know, new listings, price changes, what's going under contract sold. I can go ahead and set you up on my website. It'll send you all this stuff. So if you do that, and then you go into your website and set yourself up with the same saved search in their neighborhood and put their name FSBO, and you'll get the same daily email alerts, and you click on that one link that's got their name on there, and then you'll know what they're getting, and you could be calling them and say, hey, Mr. FSBO, did you see that property over on 123 Main Street just went under contract, or that one just sold and it sold for X? So now you're like being very proactive, and you're the only one following up and sending them this information, and then following up to see if they got it, letting them know that you're on it. And I think you will get a lot more FSBO listings, and they'll actually just, you won't find them so aggressive because you're actually helping them out.
Right. Okay. Good. I'll do it.
I would try to implement that. I would love if you did that and actually report it back. But you got to follow it, and you got to be consistent. And you know that by working the expireds.
Yeah. Consistency is everything.
All right. Great. So you did the expireds, and you said you were doing some door knocking. Were you knocking on the doors of the expireds, or were you just like maybe going to the expired, knocking on the one door that expired, and then knocking doors around them? Or around where you had listings? I mean, can you walk through that?
Sure. I started door knocking in the particular area that I wanted to work, my specific farm, and
Okay.
I just started all the way, it's a peninsula, I started all the way at the bottom of the peninsula and worked my way up. It took me several weeks, one time a week. I would go, and the goal was to talk to at least 20 people before I went home. So I would go and door knock, I think it was every Thursday between 6 and 8, and just introduce myself, tell them I'm the local real estate professional, ask them if they need help, if they know that anybody that's interested in selling. And what's interesting with that, with the door knocking, although I didn't, I may not have gotten a lead that night, I got to get in front of people and they saw my face. So it was another kind of touch after they were receiving my postcards, and then they actually saw me at the door, and I had people say, hey, I got your postcard, or wait, are you the girl from the postcard? So it really kind of built my visibility in the area to show people, hey, I'm here, I'm present, I'm knocking on your door, you're getting my cards, here I am. So that's how I did that.
So you work in a farm, which is great, and you're knocking on the doors and sending mailers. How often are you sending the mailers?
Well, when I first started the mailers, it was the 12 touches. I would send them, every 2 or 3 weeks. I would send one postcard about what kind of services I can offer the sellers, and then from there, I do just listed postcards and just sold postcards. And with the expireds, it's the same 12 touches that I use. That's the great thing about the postcards that I worked with Coach Carroll, is that they can be used on several different occasions, whether it's an expired or just a 12 touch card saying, hey, here I am. So that's kind of how we worked it.
All right. Is there anything else you're doing in the farm? If not, I got a couple suggestions that might help.
Sure. I'm all for it.
All right, is there anything else you're doing to work that farm besides knocking on the doors and sending out the mailers?
No, that's it.
Okay, so here's one thing I would do is when you're knocking on the doors is you're talking to people, I would start trying to collect their emails and let them know that you got a lot of people in the neighborhood that have asked you to keep them updated on the real estate market, okay? So if
Right,
you can,
I do that. I do get the emails, yeah.
yeah, so if you can start building the database of the emails on there when you're talking to these people, and then you can even ask them and say, hey, you know, I got a lot of people in the neighborhood asking me to keep them updated. My website can send you a monthly or bi-monthly market report. It could also even send you sold properties as they happen. Would you like me to do that and set you up on that as well? So the more of the people in your farm start getting that, they give you permission to do that. You set them up, and you can even set up the Real Geeks website to do the market reports, either monthly or bi-monthly. And what it does, it sends them, hey, here's your market report. They click on the link. It takes them back to your website, one-line CMA style with the averages, actives, under contracts, and solds. But what's even more important is it's got the home valuation widget right at the bottom of the sold one in your property search widget. So they start getting curious and start putting in their address, and then you get triggers of this engagement. So I would do that, and then I would start taking a Facebook approach, because Facebook's targeting is amazing, okay? So I would start focusing on around your neighborhood. You know, you can get that geographic, or you can drop a pin and go in a radius and stuff like that. I would start focusing Facebook marketing. When you get a listing, I would hit them with Facebook marketing, maybe some home valuation stuff, and your website set up to get them to sign up. And if you're targeting them, now you're gathering their information and emails that way as well, and then you can reach out and talk to them by phone or whatever if they're not already set up on those other market reports. So you can cross-pollinate. But if you're going to work a farm, you might as well saturate the heck out of it and make it look like you dominate the area.
Right.
So I
and
would
to
do that by
that
not.
point,
So I would
yeah,
do the Facebook marketing. I would set them up on the website on solds or market reports, and I would keep doing what you're doing. You have anything to add on that, Frank? That I know your experience would help with a lot of top agents.
Yeah, I mean,
On the farm.
yeah, you have your Facebook ads that go out to them. You have your email drips to the Real Geek system. You know, you can go so far as to do the viral marketing as well, where you record an educational video about something that's going on. You send out an educational video tip. That way they kind of get to know you and who you are, and they would get that in addition to the, you know, the Real Geek strips. And then too, like, you know, when you have this farm and you have this area that you're working, you know, you send them out. You put a free value report out there as an offer. But you have your listings that go on Facebook. You can also market some videos. I mean, the name of the game is just like, look, here's this target market of all these people, and just be in front of them as much as you can with offers from Real Geeks and properties, but also something about you as a person, as the agent. That's kind of where the video marketing comes in through viral.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. So you're doing that farming and you're doing that. What else are you doing that Coach Carol helped set you up, or what you're doing that's really changed your business?
well, the one thing was, once I was able to invest in myself and invest myself basically with time and money. So 1 hour a week I invest myself time-wise. So I will spend time in building more on the website. And then when I started making enough money, I was able to get the Real Geek site. And with the Real Geek site, that has really upped my game tremendously. And why is because we've made it so customer service driven, where when you get on the site, you immediately see the listings just based on how the site is laid out. And then also making it easily accessible, because the allure of the Silicon Beach is all the tech communities. For example, on the right-hand panel, we've set up searches based on houses that are close to different tech companies. Like one example would be on the right, one of the sidebars is we have search homes close to YouTube. So we make it very easy for people to go to the site. So they don't have to go to the map tool, although it's very easy. Instead, we've done it for them. We've set it up for them. So all they have to do is see the right side panel and see, oh, search homes close to YouTube, or search homes close to Google. So making it so easy for the customer to get to the site, use the site, and find the homes that they need very rapidly has really set us apart from other people. In fact, so much so that we have local realtors using our site and telling their customers to go to our site and sign up to find homes that they want.
What's your website address, Erin, so people can go through?
Sure, it's siliconbeachhomes.com.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I get kind of the same thing. I'll be around town here, and I'll see other agents in my market, and they'll say, "Hey, Jeff, my clients love using your website. It's so easy to use and stuff." And I say, "All right, great. Yeah, just tell them to keep using it, because I know if they drop the ball, even if the other agents are doing it, and that agent is around, they're going to probably end up reaching out to us because we're feeding them the information they want, right? The listings, price changes, stuff like that." So what are you doing to leverage the website then?
So the one main key thing that we have been doing, what makes it really awesome, is the back end of the site where you can see the clients on the site in real time. So as soon as we know that people are on the site, one in particular is a really big deal that I just did. Every time I saw that woman on the site, I called her. I called that woman 17 times. Every time I saw her on the site, I called her. And you know what? I knew she was raising her hand for help to look for a home, but I called her every time she was on the site. I said, "I just want to let you know I'm a live person. I'm here. I know you're on the site. Anything at all that you need." I would leave voicemail messages. "Hey, I know you're on the site, but I want to let you know there's a live person here for you to help you." And so after calling her 17 times, she finally picked up the phone. I was finally able to talk to her and finally able to set an appointment. But having that real-time information on the back end to show the agent that clients there, this is what they're looking at, that is priceless.
So you're talking the live feed, the actual live feed, where you click on the live feed.
Unbelievable.
Yes. And you can even filter that by like just people that are most recently in live, actually adding favorite stuff like that.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
And so she finally picked up, and then you were able to set an appointment and sell her a property?
Yes. Yes. $7 million home.
$7 million. So that was worth the 17 calls and being persistent.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. 17 times I called that woman. I just kept pounding it. I'm going to get this lady on the phone. I knew she was on the site. I knew she was active. I saw her there, and whatever it took, I was gonna get that lady. And that's what I do. When I see them on the site, I follow up. You can send them an email directly from the back end. This is awesome. And then the fact that you can leave notes. What happened? Oh, I called her, left a voice message. So when you go back, you know what you've done. You know the communication. So that's just an amazing tool to have.
Are you using the automated texting and the texting feature?
Indeed.
Okay. And are you getting a higher engagement since you started using that?
Yes, the texting feature, all of the features, the follow-up, all of it has just that's really propelled us and myself and the team to the next level.
All right, so that's where I want to transition now, because so now you've started building this, and then at what point, because you went from $20,000 to $320,000 last year, and this year you're probably on track to do a lot more. At what point did you start building a team? Because you just mentioned you have a team now, because I'm sure at first it was probably just you, right?
Correct. I started building a team as soon as I got because in order for you to have the team, you have to have enough leads to feed the team. So sure. As soon as I got the Real Geeks site up and running, that's when I had the wherewithal and the leads to add team members, because I needed help. I couldn't do it all. So that's when I started hiring agents, and that's how we've been able to build a team and outbeat the competition, because our team has invaluable knowledge of what the buyers are doing solely from the back end from the Real Geeks site. A lot of agents don't have that; they just don't.
Sure, and let me ask you. So you have how many team members do you currently have?
Oh, right now we have 4.
4, and how's that lay out?
As far as.
It's like, so it's got you're working the expired still, correct? And
correct.
Going after listings and all that. And then do you have an assistant? Do you have buyer's agents? How's that? I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Sure. Yes, I have an assistant, and then I have buyer's agents, but we don't really set it up as buyers or listing agents. We set it up as agents. So everybody on our team, they can list or buy. We have a bit of a different format, because it gives our agents the flexibility to buy or sell. I don't pigeonhole agents. It's just not what I do. I want my agents to be as successful as I am, and I think that's really helped grow the team into the family kind of situation that we have, because there's not buying agents. You're an agent with me, and we're all here to be successful.
All right, so that's great. I love that. So the agents that you have on your team, are they also prospecting and doing expireds, or are they just working the internet leads off the website? What are all these other agents doing that are on your team? You said you're feeding them. You're feeding them leads, obviously, from the website, but are they also prospecting as well, or are you guys working
Sure.
together?
Yes. Yeah, everybody has their own farm. Everybody prospects in their own farm. Everybody door knocks in their own farm. Everybody sends their postcards in their own farm and expired listings in their own farm. Basically, they're taking the recipe that Coach Carol and I built for my business, and they're using it for their business. So that's how we've been able to be so successful in such a short amount of time, is that everybody has the opportunity to do what I did. So that's just really been great for the team morale and giving the team opportunity to grow with the company, with us.
All right, great. And does the assistant run the escrows for everybody, just you, or how's that work?
The assistant does the transaction coordinating while we're in escrow for everybody.
Awesome.
So all the team members have access to this transaction coordinator. We all have access to the same thing. I don't separate myself from any of the team members. Everybody has the same equity in the company, the same feel, the same commission split, and we're all working toward the same goal, and that is to give a fresh approach to real estate in our neighborhood.
Awesome. Frank, what kind of questions do you got? I've been asking all the questions.
No, man, you're doing very well. I'm just going to let you...
I'm trying to be like you, Frank. I've learned a lot since starting to do these.
Yeah. So are you using the Facebook marketing tool, Erin?
I have not used it yet, but I do separately. Before the Facebook marketing tool came out with Real Geeks, I was already marketing on Facebook.
Got it. So pretty much from what I understand is that all of your leads drive to the website, they opt in, and you follow up. Do you know roughly how many leads you're getting a month?
I can tell you that I get anywhere between 3 to 7 leads a day.
3 to 7 solid leads a day, and where are they coming from?
They're coming from, well, a lot of them are coming through our newsletter. So we send out a weekly newsletter where everything goes back to the site.
Your database of how many people?
Right now, I think in our database we have 11,000 contacts.
Wow. And you've built that over how long?
It's been, well, I started building the database when I started working with Coach Carol, so about 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
How did you build that? With what offers? How did you get a database over 3 years of 11,000 opt-ins?
Well, I started I started purchasing names and emails. That was the main brunt of it, and the rest is through just networking and buyers that have come in.
Yep, and there are ways to get people that actually want to receive emails. There's less companies that will sell those of homeowners.
Exactly.
Yep, so you send those out. So you send out your newsletter that goes out to everyone in the area, and the call to action, that is to come back and search for homes on your website.
Right. So we can immediately tell when the newsletter has been sent out because we start getting crazy hits. I mean, immediately, oh, the newsletter must have sent out because we started getting an influx of traffic on the site.
Great. So a lot of your business comes from your database, which is your past leads, past clients, just basically every email you got goes in the newsletter every single week.
Exactly. Every lead, every email, every agent that I've ever touched or any of the agents have ever touched goes right into the database.
Cool. So that's a big source. What else? Where else do the leads come from?
Well, the leads come from networking opportunities that the agents and I go for. Our immediate sphere of influence would be another source. And
does TV sign calls? Does that happen much?
What's that?
Like sign calls, like off a sign. Does someone drive by a house and get a sign call? Listing sign.
Oh, a listing sign? Do we get those calls?
Yeah.
Is that the question? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, the point is, I would assume all of those leads, whether you get them offline, also go into the Real Geek system. Right?
Everything, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I think I'd like to do, Jeff?
I got one other question. So what other sources are you, if you're getting that many signups, it's not just email, so what other sources are you driving traffic to the website?
Well, the other sources would be social media. We're heavily invested in social media. We have somebody that works with us full-time on our social media through Twitter, Facebook, Google+. So a lot of that also comes from social media where they see a tweet about homes for sale under $1 million in Santa Monica.
What's your Facebook page?
Maison International. Oh, I can send it to you. You can just look up Maison International LA.
All right, I'm looking up right now. Actually, I'm going to share with the audience. Actually, Jeff, I want to do it. This would be kind of cool. We have some questions about the Real Geek site since we're dealing with that. I'm actually going to share my browser. let's actually take a look at your stuff. All right? I don't think we've never really done this.
Can you do this, Frank? I know we've
I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not going to screw it up, I promise. All right? All right, does everyone see my screen?
There's my site. Woohoo!
Yeah. So there's your site. All right? So, all right, so you scroll down, you see Silica Beach #1 real estate search. And then what you were talking about earlier is, you scroll down here on the right, and you have the, search homes near YouTube and Facebook and Google. Did you set these up yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So you click one of those and just goes to a page where now I see all the homes. You have a little bit of information on YouTube. Did you write this?
Yes.
So you wrote the copy that went right here, and then it shows up all the homes that are near that area.
Yes.
And you set that search up, right?
People love that, yeah.
Yeah, it is very nice. All right. So that's kind of a cool little thing. And then you have your call to action for a free home value report, right? That goes there. Let's keep going down. What's this one? Search for a map in the area. I click that. These are all the homes for sale up in LA area. Wow, 150 million?
That's some good stuff.
That's nice. Let's sell that one.
I don't think I've ever seen something that expensive. Okay. Sounds good. Anything you want to point out on this site that's kind of unique to you that people really like for Real Geeks users, or at least when setting up your own buyer search site?
Well, the one thing would be the easy commute to whatever is important in that specific area. People love that. I get comments on that all the time.
Where's
the easy commute to tech? That's where we get a lot of the tech leads, because people that work at Google, Facebook, they can just go on there instead of doing all the, people in tech are fast. They want that instant gratification. They just can come onto the site and be like, okay, I need a home near where I work. Oh, I work at Facebook. Here you go.
That's a cool link to find out who the HR manager at those companies are and share that with them.
Right.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And we were actually invited by YouTube to, after they saw our site, we were actually invited by YouTube to their YouTube office over here in Playa Vista just about a month ago.
Cool. Nice. Let's take a look at your value tool. Let's talk about seller leads. So are you driving traffic here to people to put in their home address to get a lead?
Yes.
Cool. Search. There you go. Put the information in, get my house value. And there's a squeeze.
That's it.
Cool. Right. So let's take a look at her Facebook page. Were you able to locate that, Frank? Or is there a link off the website?
I completely spelled this wrong. Spell it for me.
There is a link on the website. It's Maison International LA. If you go to the bottom of our Silicon Beach site, it says follow us here. Go to the bottom. Here. Up there, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. I don't know why Facebook's not there. Interesting.
You need to get Facebook on there.
Yeah, for sure. That's the other thing, too, about the site, which I've had people tell me, is that they come to the site and they just search for homes. They don't see stuff about us. They just see what they're looking for. So people love that, too.
Cool. So let's take a look at your Facebook page. So here's your Facebook page.
Sure.
All right. Nice picture of the property.
Some video there.
Hey, there you are.
Video, baby. They love video.
Is this the one that Zillow did for you?
Yes.
That's very nice. So you got a nice video of yourself. New properties. Here's a post that you made. So this is really good. If you're looking to use the system, go check out our Facebook page and go check out our Real Geek site and kind of get some ideas of how you want to build your own stuff out. And you have someone full-time that takes care of all this for you, right?
Correct.
Good. I'm assuming, do you also just boost these on social media? Like, you also run these as ads as well?
Yes, we do.
Got it. Cool.
And what audience do you normally target? Just the location, certain price, income?
I have a person that does that. I don't know exactly how he does it, to be honest, but he does it.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's enough of that. I thought it'd be kind of cool to actually get the screen sharing tool to work, which I figured out, and show the website and show Facebook a little bit, right?
Right.
Cool. So what is your average commission out there? It has to be all over the place. So you go from 20 to 300. What is that, like, 5 houses in LA? Like, how many houses is 300,000 in GCI?
There's in the price point that we're working really in Silicon Beach is kind of like $1 million and up. So, and the commission is usually 5% total commission with 2.5 to the listing and 2.5 to the selling agent.
Not bad. Pretty cool. We got some questions.
Great.
So who inputted all the info on your website? So Chad Smith asked, to set this whole thing up, Were you the one that wrote all the copy on this? I mean, talk about the setup process.
That's where I was talking about the hour of time that I devoted to myself each week, and that's what it is. I actually physically go in and do it myself. 1 hour a week I devote to working on the site, working on the material for the site, perfecting the site. What would be, I'm rather tech savvy, what would be interesting to tech savvy individuals? So that's that 1 hour a week that I was talking about that I'm able to invest in myself that I do every week. I go to the site, I do fine tuning, and that's where the content comes from.
Now, Jeff, if someone wanted to hire someone to do that, is that possible to hire out to get that done, to write all that out?
Yeah, most definitely. Actually, on our docs page, we have like 3 third-party people that actually they built a whole career on just helping people build out content, site structure, landing pages, because some people, depends on what level you want to take it, but some people want to make it a really, really great, valuable resource for the person visiting the website, right? Yeah. So we have like 3 people. They do an amazing job, and they can do as little or as much as you want. They can also help get content created and stuff like that.
And that's at docs.realgeeks.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
it out. Mainly for Real Geeks customers, actually.
Okay. Well, right. For customers, that's where you want to go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so yeah. There are third people, but it's pretty simple. I mean, you really don't even need a bunch of landing pages. You can have a home page, have the search on there, an about page, and drive traffic to different landing pages using our Facebook marketing tool. You don't even need those, and they'll just have the home valuation. But if you are going to be doing Google AdWords or trying to get organic ranking, it is better to build out area, city, community, neighborhoods, and have those as landing pages. And if you're doing social media or even PPC, when we manage PPC, we not only drive the person to just a search results where the search results of the properties kind of organized by newest, so they're not all higher or lower, and they click on that and then it asks them to sign up. We will test driving them to that type of page, but we will also test running the same ads to an area page where the search form is already picked with that community or city, so the consumer can just go there and click search, get those results, and do that. We test, because sometimes landing them on just the results converts higher, and sometimes landing them on an area page converts higher. So it's good to build those pages out for the user, and also for additional landing pages, so you can do A/B testing.
Sure. Cool. So Erin, what's next for you? What are the things that you're working on now for your business?
What's next is I really want everybody on the team to be wildly successful. So what we're really pushing for is to have the agents be as successful as me to grow the business. We just want all of the agents to be a success. So I've really been focusing on getting the agents their own agent landing page on the Real Geek site, which has been great. So they can have their own search tools. They can put that in their signature. Just propelling the agents to the next level so we can all grow is really the next. What I see next in the future is really getting the agents to be multi-million-dollar producers.
Great. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any other questions left. Noreen asked, who's Coach Carol? Why don't you talk to us about your coach a little bit?
Well, Coach Carol is just my heaven sent. She just dramatically changed my business and my thought processes on real estate. So Coach Carol Mazer with Top Pro Training is the coach. The other great thing about Coach Carol is that she doesn't just train me, she also trains my team members. So if and when we want to do a rotation where I get one coaching call, and then she'll also the next Friday she'll talk to another agent based on what people need help on. And the great thing about Coach Carol is she actually tests the systems and the scripts. So she takes a little bit of everything from all over and then helps us with those items.
Cool. Then those links on the right-hand side of the website, Jeff, those aren't any extra to put on there. That's just creating a widget and putting the links there.
No. Here's the deal. With the Real Geeks website, an agent can add as many pages as they want. They can add 20,000 pages. If they got the time and energy, they can build as many pages as they want.
Okay, cool.
And I kind of cut out there for a minute. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I think
you
I was
came through.
having
You came through fine. No, we heard you. We heard you just fine.
network issues. So now I know that Erin was talking about agent landing pages for her agents, and I kind of got cut out. One thing with those agent landing pages, what I would suggest, Erin, because you're trying to get them to really promote, and what an agent landing page is Erin can create as many agent landing pages, and they can look like a home page or any other page. They can even have their own sidebar with the agents on there. But what happens is if you build them in agent landing pages, anything that goes to any of those agent landing pages for that agent, when the lead goes there, if they end up signing up, it bypasses any round-robin rules that she's got in her lead manager, and those leads go directly to that agent. So here's what I would suggest, Erin, is have these agents buy their own URL, their own domain name, and redirect, 301 redirect it to their main agent landing page so they can do all their marketing, have it on all their cards, and really work hard at marketing themselves. And it can just redirect. They do a permanent redirect, and a redirect to their main agent landing page, so they can do all their marketing and all that and know that all the leads that come in from all their marketing will go directly to them and not one of your other agents.
Right, and that's kind of how we've set it up. I bought URLs for the agents, and
okay, perfect.
They're aware that the leads go directly to them, which is why they have them in their signature, and they've been able to promote them themselves on social media. So it's really worked out beautifully.
Yep.
All right, so they're liking that. Great.
Oh, yeah.
We have one more question about just how should your Facebook page look like your website? And the answer is just yes and no. And when someone goes to your Facebook page, there's two types of Facebook pages. Are you going to market it as yourself, as your brand, as you the agent, or are you marketing as the town? And it's really kind of up to you. So if it's going to be the name of the town, where they like the town, it's obviously going to be a picture of the area and houses. And if it's marketing you, I'd recommend you still have a picture of houses, but put your face and brand yourself on that page as being the agent if you're marketing the pages yourself, to answer that question. So the other question here is, how fast can someone get a site up and running like Carol's been Erin in this place? So how fast can we get a website up and running, Jeff? Like the one that...
Well, actually, when they sign up, they would actually create a Real Geeks account, put in their information, pick out their design and color combination, and as soon as they submit, they'll get a welcome email within 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll have a dev site up, and they can start editing and adding whatever content they want, and it can actually be pushed live as soon as we have MLS approval with their MLS. So it's up to them. So it's up to them how little or whatever. And I always say, hey, especially if you're starting out and you're not transferring content over from an existing website, start out with your home page and an about page and maybe some other stuff, and then build it out as you want, and then start driving traffic to it. I mean, we have this new amazing Facebook tool that you do not have to be tech savvy, and we got agents getting leads from $2 to $5 leads using our Facebook marketing tool, driving traffic to it. So you don't need a whole lot to get going, and then slowly build it out or hire somebody else if you don't want it to. I personally would not sit there and build it out. I've done a lot of my stuff in the past, but I personally would buy time. I'm into buying time for myself, so I would actually pay somebody. Here's what I want. Find one of these virtual assistants or virtual site builders and say, here's what I want, go do it, because I have more important things to do, like strategy and stuff like that, and a lot of agents do. But a lot of our agents love the fact that they can just go in there and add thousands and thousands of pages. I mean, we got one guy in Maui, check this out. He's got 1,400 pages on his website. He's done like every condo, every subdivision, I mean everything. And he created 1,400 unique sidebars.
Wow.
Because you can have a different sidebar for every page if you want in our system. We actually had to put a search in the sidebar section so he could find his sidebars. But anyway, so you can get as creative and crazy as you want, or keep it simple and just drive traffic to it and use the CRM to crush it.
Yep.
That's incredible. 1,400 pages.
Yeah. No, 1,400 sidebars is what's more incredible.
That's incredible.
Are you serious? He goes, I want every sidebar to have unique content. I'm not going to say his name. I don't know. He may be watching this, but
yeah. Well, and Chad, you asked again the question: Would the content come from a competitor like Boomtown or Commissions? No. The content you create yourself. So the content you're writing, you're covering the communities. You're writing about the area. You're writing about the properties, and that was what needs to be written. When someone's looking at the area, they want to know about the area. And
well, here's the deal: if you have a landing page and you can land them on an area page where the form is already chosen, so all I have to do is hit search or whatever. But you also have information about living in that community and stuff, and maybe even some links to different things that the community offers. Some people like that because they're in the initial research area. So if you can get a little more elaborate and give them more content, that helps out, and the site brings more value. But the site itself is so easy to search. Like Erin said, I have realtors in my market saying that their clients love my site because it's so easy. So that's the key. If it's easy for the consumer to get what they want and search properties, they're more likely to sign up, and then you'll get a higher conversion rate, period.
Agreed.
Yep.
So
next, go ahead, Jeff.
I don't know. I forgot. I was gonna, actually, I don't know. I had a question I was going to ask Erin, and now I forgot because we got off on this other side. Maybe it'll come to me. Do you have any other questions coming in, Frank?
Yeah. Where can you buy email addresses? So this is a very unique strategy of buying emails. I'll kind of share what we do there. Probably one of the easiest ways, I'll share my screen. I pulled it up actually. You can go to any type of list broker. This is in case Info USA. And you can actually, let's go back. So they sell lists. So ready to grow your business, you can buy a business list or a consumer list. And you can call them up and say, hey, I need some sales leads. I need mailing lists of people that are, new homeowners, new movers, investors, home value, hobbies and interests, estimated value of home. They'll sell you all this information, and it's a really good way to start off with your farm of like, hey, I really want to drill down the people in this area that I want to be reaching out to. And you can call these people up, and they'll sell you a list. And a lot of times, the emails they have on there are, I don't know how they get them, but you can email them with permission because they're special opt-in emails, and you can include those people into your database. It's one of those strategies. Anything you want to add to that, Erin, on like buying a list from a list broker?
That's exactly how we did it. Yes.
Yep. So not a lot of people know that. So check out Info USA, and I think you'd be pretty. It's pretty interesting the fields that you can add to a spreadsheet of homeowners in the area to build your mailing list and your marketing list.
Right.
Yep. Other questions. So Peggy, hopefully that answered your question there. And then, can you add videos to the town pages, Jeff?
Oh yeah, you can embed whatever you want in there. You can even embed third-party tools, chat, all kinds of things. So you can embed videos.
Cool.
A lot of people do.
I like the screen sharing thing so I can show people some stuff. Let me show you something else. Hope we're digging this. So we talked about town tours. So a good client of ours is Jonathan Carbuty. He's a broker up in New Haven, Connecticut. And what he did is he wanted to create a video tour of all the different areas of Connecticut. So if you go here, you just type in, like, for example, Durham and Middlefield, Connecticut town tour. The videos that he has created are absolutely incredible that show people about the area. So here he is, these beautiful videos of all about everything you ever want to know about each of the communities, and he put those up on his buyer site, and it helps the buyers get to know the area. That was kind of cool.
I definitely would suggest that if you are creating area and community pages and you have the bandwidth or you have the money to hire somebody to do that, that brings a lot of value on that area page.
Yeah, you're probably looking to do something like that, at least about $500 a video to hire a professional video person easily.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when you find someone on Craigslist working on the side for that rate, not someone that's probably professionally running a business. So, but yeah, that's all I have. We answered all the questions for you, Jeff.
Great. Well, I don't have any more information. I really want to thank Erin for joining us and sharing, and it's just amazing that she went from 20K to 320, but it must have been a huge mind shift, and it was great that she was able to just share with us all the whole journey and how she was able to get through that. And I think it will really help a lot of people, and I just want to thank you for joining us, Erin. Really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for building the Real Geek site, because having that site is just awesome. If you don't have that site, to anybody who's watching, I implore you to save your money and get the site, because it has drastically changed our business.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and I really appreciate, like I said, you coming on. And the reason why we're doing these hangouts is to help agents grow in all aspects of their business. And I think you're really going to help, and you're going to connect with some people watching this, and they're going to go, I can do it. Oh, that was the last thing. One more last thing. What would you tell anybody? That's what I was going to ask. What would you tell anybody, or what would you like to say, or do you have any advice for anyone that was maybe in your situation where they are struggling, they're wondering, like, is this real estate for me, or, you know, this is where you were, because you must have been like this close to like just saying, the heck with this real estate, I'm out of here. What advice would you tell them to help them get through that?
Well, I'll share the advice that a good friend of mine, Jimmy Weaver, shared with me, who is now an agent on my team. She used to be my transaction coordinator. I was right at the breaking point, and I said to Jimmy, I said, you know what, I'm just ready to throw in the towel. And she said, you know what, Erin, I've seen so many agents that have been right at the point where they blew up and have been very successful that have just quit. So right when you're at the point that you think you're going to quit or you want to quit, you just have to take it just a step further, and you will make it. And you have to have faith in yourself, and that's what she told me, and that's exactly what I did. I just followed through, and you just have to follow through and believe in yourself, and it will happen.
So basically, dig a little bit deeper, grind a little bit harder, and then possibly maybe even step back and look what you're doing, because you just need to change direction a little bit, right?
Exactly. Yeah, dig deep. Dig real deep. Yes.
All right, great. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. I really appreciate it. And thanks as always, Frank. And we'll see you next episode. Aloha.
See you guys.
Thank you.